Welcome back, you're watching Primetime. Azerbaijan's state oil fund has closed the year with a strong set of results. Its assets growing sharply, investment returns holding firm, and a substantial contribution made to the state budget. But behind the headline numbers sits a bigger story about how sovereign wealth funds work, how risk is managed in uncertain markets, and how long-term national priorities are protected across generations. Well, earlier today, I spoke with SOFAZ's Deputy Executive Director at the fund's headquarters in Baku, and I asked him to walk us through the results and the thinking behind them. Well, Deputy Executive Director, thank you very much indeed for agreeing to this exclusive interview and for inviting us here to SOFAZ headquarters. The results that we've seen today seem very positive, very strong, but there are many different elements to the numbers. Can you just talk us through some of the highlights?
Thank you very much. The fund assets as of 31st December of 2025 stood at 73.5 billion USD. Which is increase around 5% from the beginning of the year. And in terms of the investment performance, we have produced around 6.2% investment return, which is equivalent to the around 7 billion Azerbaijani manat, which is around $4 billion US. Overall, the financial markets was very supportive for the portfolio in 2025, and we have produced positive results across all the asset classes. In terms of the main contributor to the portfolio, as a part of the local investment performance, was the public equities. And of course, the role of the physical gold, the gold performance was very substantial in terms of the overall asset under management growth.
Yeah, very interesting. Challenging times out there in the global economy, but a very solid set of results. Many of our viewers, many of the people who comment on social media, many of the people that we meet, that we interview, are fascinated, frankly, by sovereign wealth funds and how they actually work, how they support the overarching strategies of the countries within which they sit. Just give us an explainer, if you could, on that. How does the fund work? How does it help to deliver the goals that Azerbaijan has for the nation?
The SOFAZ is a sovereign wealth fund and national, long-term national wealth institution for the Azerbaijan. SOFAZ supports the national strategic objectives in structural and long-term way. And let me to frame it into three dimensions. First one is the resilience, and second one is the intergenerational value, and the third one is the institutional stewardship. And all of this long-term approach is aligned with our national development priorities, which set in highest level, also include the strategic direction articulated by the President Ilham Aliyev. First is about the macroeconomic resilience. I think the sovereign wealth fund, and we all know about this, that the sovereign wealth fund is well positioned to strengthen the country's capacity to manage the volatility by maintaining a well and professional managed asset base. It's not about it's not only about the intervening in the difficult time, but it's about the decreasing this vulnerability across the time. And second one is about the intergenerational equity. And the fund exists. I mean, we all know that this natural resource revenues are finite, but the national wealth should be durable. The fund exists to transform all of this national resource revenues into long lasted asset base. And as a SOFAZ, so we are trying to build this portfolio for the future generation. And the third one is the institutional stewardship through the governance. I think the governance is very important. We all know about that. The SOFAZ operates under, I would say, a long-term governance framework, and which translates our mandate into policies, portfolio objectives, and risk boundaries. It's supported by the clear approval authority for the decisions, and also independent review by the risk management, compliance, and other relevant functions with well-defined and documented accountability. Of course, all of this help us to build a portfolio, to build an institution that could navigate through the different market regimes. SOFAZ contributes to the country's broader financial and economic credibility, because by having an institution with the right governance, I mean, you signal you signal about this the stability, you see about this resilience. So it's not only important for the investment management, but it's also qualities that serve for the perception from the international community. I mean, for our counterparts, that about the country's institutional capacity.
It's very interesting, this, because the goals, the objectives are multifarious, different in character and nature to many other financial instruments that you might find. I mean, we had decades, didn't we, where the only goals really were shareholder or investor return. Then we've moved into an area where there are ethical, climate-related goals as well. But for a sovereign wealth fund, there are vastly more, aren't there? There are so many things that you need to achieve over a long period of time. With that burden of responsibility, how do you actually go about measuring success?
Yeah, I think this question is a very relevant question to any sovereign wealth funds. For us, the way we manage and measure success through the cycle-based lens. For us, a single year is just a data point, and I think every single sovereign wealth fund should be assessed across different market regimes. I think the first important part in this exercise is mandate alignment. And this is about the intergenerational equity again. This is about resilience, and this is about delivering the sustainable results with the well-disciplined, well-managed the risks. And this is also the labeling. This is also the segmenting the portfolio into the functional labels, but not the ordinary labels. So that means one part of the portfolio should preserve the liquidity. Another part of the portfolio should stabilize the portfolio behavior, and another part of the portfolio should add the long-term growth of the portfolio. So I think all of this is very important for the long-term sovereign wealth funds. And second one is about the risk management. For us, risk management is very central in portfolio management. It's not it's how it's built into the portfolio construction and decision. It's how the decisions are taken, For us, risk management is about the diversification, is about the ongoing monitoring, it's about the scenario thinking overall, because it helps us to navigate through the different market environments, through the low economic growth, high volatility, high interest rates, and it's also consistent with our long-term mandate. And if you look at the portfolio for the last 5 years, we have the portfolio was around 44 billion for 5 years ago. Now we are managing around 74 billion USD. It's around 30 billion in absolute terms, the return. And around the most fascinating fact that around 76% of this increase is coming from the investment related activities, of course including the FX and the gold effect.
It's fascinating. Huge complexity, taking an awful lot of dexterity to manage. We congratulate you on these latest results, and we thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.